All right, come on over, Winston. Come on over, Winston.
Hey, Winston.
It is high noon, my friends, and let's take a look at how much you have helped us raise so far. We've only been on the air for 2 hours. We are at $877,000. We need to do better. We need to do better. Thank you very much to Dante for helping us as well. We have a performance by Boots and Hearts Emerging Artists coming up. You're watching the Easter Seals Telethon. Thank you.
Thanks for being here, Mika.
Here's Brent.
We love you.
Gretzky, Howe, or all great Canadian hockey players. But joining us today is another. Billy Bridges is a 5-time Paralympian, a Paralympic gold medalist, a 4-time world champion for Canada in sledge hockey, and he's here wearing some heavy-duty hardware. Billy, hi, how you doing?
I'm great. Thanks a lot for having me.
Good to have you with us. You were once an Easter Seals camper. Is that where it all began?
Yeah, I was born with spina bifida, and I was lucky enough to have my best friend and like career-long teammate Brad Bowden and his grandma find me skateboarding on the street one day, and they asked me what kind of sports I was into and what I did with the disabled community, and I had no idea about any of those things. And right away, Brad's grandma started fundraising for me to be able to go to an Easter Seals camp, and just what an experience that was. It was really scary being away from home for the first time, but as soon as you get to camp and you're surrounded by your actual peers, other disabled kids and leaders, and it was really cool. You got to learn a lot about life and leadership and really kind of fitting in.
You were 10 years old when you went to camp, and that streamed you into athletics. That changed your life, and it changed the course. I could say your participation changed the course of the Canadian team. You made the Canadian team when you were 14 years old. Who does that?
I don't know. It definitely showcased every single sport that you could get into, whether it was wheelchair archery or rowing or paddling, to everything to wheelchair basketball and swimming, and it was so much fun.
It's great to have you with us today. You're leaving for the national championships when?
We leave in 3 weeks to Ostrava, Czech Republic.
Bring back the hardware.
Thank you.
Billy, nice to meet you. For more than 30, Michelle, it's over to you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it. Yeah, for more than 3 decades, Canada's leading technology sector companies have hit the links at the Canadian Computer Charity Golf Classic in support of Easter Seals. And joining me now is Tracy Hutchison, Director of Partner Sales for Cisco. Tracy, why does Cisco, one of the largest technology companies in the world, support these charity events?
Sure, Michelle. We've been successfully globally, and we take that success and leverage it, and bring it back to our communities. Globally, we've got a huge culture of giving back, and we then bring that down to the country and the cities that we live in. So for us, it's super important to really help out the communities that we live in, the people around us, and we've all been touched by both healthy children and folks around us that have had some challenges. So it's our opportunity to give back and really help out the communities that we live in.
So supporting the community programs, let's talk specifically about the Canadian Computer Charity Golf Classic.
Yeah, absolutely. Cisco's been the lead sponsor for the last 5 years. We're coming up on, as you said, 3 decades worth. And for us, again, it's an opportunity to bring our friends, our industry peers out for a good time, but most importantly, to really figure out how we contribute to the Easter Seals community, contribute to the children, and again, take our success and give it back to the communities that we live in.
Tracy, we're not going to let you leave without having you show us what is in your hand.
Well, we've got a big surprise this year. $230,000 that we raised for Easter Seals, and looking forward to doing it again this September.
$230,000. Thank you so much to you and Cisco.
Thank you very much, Michelle. Really appreciate it.
Brett, over to you.
We are very fortunate to have many friends who support the Easter Seals Telethon. Every year, volunteers, crew, hosts, and even performers keep coming back. Buck 20 is one of them.
Tickets from a movie and a key in your pocket with a $5 bill. The green from a grass stand from you and me watching those stars on the hill. A hole that you wore, you told that you left just to make me go crazy. Now look in your eyes. some, I just want to maybe spend tomorrow in last night's blue jeans. I bet they still look good on you. Last night's blue jeans. Well, it's whatever you wanna do. I can drop you off early and walk you to the door. Lights out 12:15 on your porch, or maybe we can keep this going and I can get to know you over coffee in the morning. And last night's blue jeans. Oh, last night's blue jeans. Oh, I know your favorite song, where you're from and what you want and what'll really get you going. You can wear my hat and we'll try not to laugh when the waitress asks how you doing. You've been bought away from last call till Sunday. It's like a night that don't end when you're waking up in last night's blue jeans. I bet they still look good on you. Last night's blue jeans. Well, it's whatever you wanna do. I can drop you off early and walk you to the door. Lights out 12:15 on your porch, or maybe we can keep this going and I can get to know you over coffee in the morning. Last night's blue jeans. Oh, last night's blue jeans. Oh, maybe we can keep this going and I can get to know you over coffee in the morning. Last night's blue jeans. I bet they still look good on you. Last night's blue jeans. Well, it's whatever you wanna do. I can drop you off early and walk you to the door. Lights out 12:15 on your porch, or maybe we can keep this going and I can get to know you over coffee in the morning. And last night's blue jeans. Oh, last night's blue jeans. Oh.
Buck 20, hey, how you doing?
Good, man. Good, good.
This is Mike here. How you doing, Mike?
Good, doing great. Great to be here.
Want to introduce the other musicians?
Yes, so back on the drums, we got Brandon LeFrancois. To my left on bass, Nick Sewage. And my partner crime over here, Aiden Johnson-Bujo. And I am Mike here.
Yeah, nice to have you with us. Now, you've been involved with the telethon for a couple of years now. Why do you keep coming back?
Yeah, this is our 4th year doing it, and it's just great. You know, I actually, during the week, I work as a school nurse, and I work with kids that receive Easter Seals funding. And I see what it does firsthand for these kids, and just to be able to be here and use our music to raise some money and help these kids out, it's a special thing. So,
What's your message to the people watching at home about the kids that you're meeting here today?
These kids are amazing, and help them out, you know, any chance that you can, and just get on those phones. And they're just, you know, for being a nurse and being here 4 years and coming back, they're amazing kids. So it's really good to know them too.
And they love your music. Thank you very much for being with us. Buck 20, thanks for being with us today. And now over to Michelle.
Thank you. There are a lot of different feelings kids can have before heading to Easter Seals Summer Camp for the first time. Excitement, curiosity, and maybe even a few nerve for some of the kids is the first time they've been away from their parents. So when camper Candace went through those emotions, she loved every minute of it. Here's her story.
I feel like Easter Seals is part of my family almost. It just is amazing.
Tell us about camp.
I was blown away. I was like, oh my gosh, I get to try all these things. I felt happy and then I was gonna go home, but as I got home, like, I wanna go back so bad.
What were some of your favorite activities?
Sailing, of course. The wind being in your face, feeling the cold air on your face, it was amazing. I'm mostly looking forward to seeing my friends again. Lots of fun games, doing art, doing pottery, doing archery, all that stuff.
Walk us through that as a parent of how do they put you at ease of, okay, this is where I'm leaving her for 5 days.
Just as soon as you get there, there's somebody to greet you and just make you feel welcome. And they went through everything, and I felt okay leaving her. It was okay, and I'm excited to do it again. I think she matured a lot while she was there. Giving her independence is hard for me. So it's definitely her being Easter Seals ambassador and going to camp. Everything to do with Easter Seals has made me grow as a person too, because I know that I need to let her go and be her own person. And she is 100% her own person, and I need to just embrace that. Easter Seals has helped me do that.
Now that I'm ambassador for 2018, I'm looking forward to doing it all again.
So you picked being Easter Seals ambassador as your topic for the speech.
Yeah.
Tell us how your speech went at school.
Everybody liked it.
You're teaching your friends about what it's like to be a kid with a physical disability. How does that feel?
I was teaching them about my disability, and that made me feel proud because they don't understand what it's like to be in a wheelchair.
And it makes it easier to talk about it, right? Because then it's not so weird to talk about anymore. It's not that big of a deal. Kids, I'm very, very excited for you. I'm proud of you, and it's pretty cool how brave you are.
Thank you.
I want you all to take a moment to say hello to Tyler and Kiera, longtime summer campers. We're talking 7 years, right, Kiera?
Yeah.
And 14 years you've been going to camp, Tyler?
Yep.
And this is your last year, but going to camp now that you're older, what is it like?
It's interesting because like before, when I was younger, I'd be all toward doing all the activities, and and then I enjoyed doing them so much, but then after a point, I kind of outgrew the activities, and I wanted just to spend more time with my friends.
Yes.
And so it became more of I went to camp just to hang out with my friends, not really to do the activities.
Oh, I love that. What about you, Kiera?
You know, for me, especially when I was younger, just like Tyler said, you get so into the activities, and that's your main focus. And I absolutely love the activities, no doubt. But as I've gotten older, I've realized, learning to be independent and taking those life skills programs and learning to cook and making everlasting friendships. I have friendships that I made the first year I went to camp, and we're still best friends. So I think that's what it's more about for me now, is the friendships and taking the independence and the confidence that it gives me and applying that to real life, and just, it's all about friends for me now.
Very well said from both of you. But tell us really, your roles. They've changed at camp, right? And of course, now being older, being mentors to the younger kids, what's that like?
As I've gotten older, a lot of the counselors, they're really not much older than I am. And there's a lot of little ones, and so I end up reading bedtime stories, especially to the nonverbal campers. They can understand what you're saying, and so when I start reading to them and I see the wonderful smiles on their face and I hear them laughing, it's so amazing. And you get little kids and they say, "Oh, I want to be just like you when I grow up," and so it's really amazing to kind of be a part of that and just see, especially how much work the counselors put in every day.
You see the passion, Kiera and Tyler, I thank you so much for your time. You're heading to Costa Rica to continue your studies. I wish you all the best of luck, all right? Thank you to you both. My friends, we've been here doing this a long time, Kevin, so have you. Over to you.
Oh, most definitely. And I got to tell you, there are 2 days of tears at camp. And Kalia, you know what I'm talking about, right? It's and Kalia's back again with me this year. She operates our calculator, but you've been to camp. This will be your 6th year.
Yep. And I definitely know what you're talking about. Every time my mom drops me off and I cry like, "Oh no, don't leave me." And then every time she comes back to pick me up and I'm crying like, "Oh, I don't want to leave."
It is so true. And there's a lot of Easter Seals kids who have never been away from home before, and it's their first time. And there's a lot of parents who are understandably worried that they're not going to be there to help their child. But there's no worries at camp.
No, everyone is so helpful there, and they make you really feel like you're a part of a family for the 5 days, 10 days that you're there. So you completely forget that you're not with your family, honestly.
Yeah, and then the tears at the end are like, "Mom, Dad, I want to stay. I want to stay. When can we come back?"
I don't want to leave my friends.
It really is. So if you are going to camp for your first time this year, I don't want you to worry. And Mom and Dad, I don't want you to worry either. Great care. Now, the people at MedAir Calculator are going to help send some kids to camp. So we're setting this up in a little bit. We are going to be taking your donations, and we're looking to add to, how many days to camp do we want to give, do you think?
I think 10 days.
10 days. So it's $250 a day to send a kid to camp. So in a little bit, we're going to ask for your donations to try and bring us up to that $2,500 to send one kid to camp for 10 days. So stay with us on that. Now, Ty Milton and, of course, the ever-famous Casey McKay join us right now. Hi, guys.
Hi. Lenny Boy from Barrie donated 25. Roberts May from Kenswick donated 50. Barrett Marks from Marksham donated 15.
Mark Olson from Richmond Hill donated $80. Brenda Kay from Grove donated $100. And Maria Keynes from New Liskeard donated $75. Over to you, Winston.
Thank you so much, Casey. Casey and I are Twitter friends, by the way. Ty and Casey, thank you so much. Back to the Angel board we go. Minimum $100 donation gets you on this board. And I want to thank Scott Forgetal from Markham, $500 donation. We've also got Terry Reimer from Havelock, $100. Thank you. Lisa Davies from Pickering, thank you so much. Hannah Abrara from Toronto, $100 from you. Vivian Borgesi from Whitby, $100. Arlene O'Brien from Toronto, $100. Sheila Smalley from Pickering, also a donation from you. Thank you for your generous donation. And Lucy and Gilbert Gaspini, Oakville, $100. James Wale from Hamilton, $100. Kelly Waitung from Mississauga, $1,000. So keep those donations coming. One last one here from Marlene Graham from Toronto, $200. 1-866-996-5799. Or if you're in the GTA area, 416-205-3300 is how you can get in touch and make those donations. Every dollar counts. Kevin, back to you.
All right, thank you very much. Winston, I'm going to need your help.
Sure.
I am going to need your help, so we're going to send some kids to camp. Don't forget, $250 a day. A Makeup Monster, you're here to help as well. You're going to help Kalia?
Yes, I'm going to help Kalia today. She is going to operate the calculator, and you are going to operate your telephone.
I was going to say, I don't know how to operate one of these things, so I'm glad I have your help because I only know how to use my iPhone.
So we are going to spend the next 12 minutes or so, and we are going to raise little blocks of $250. So if you can donate $100, we're going to add that to the pot. So here we go. Let's get the calculators going, get those phones ringing, and let's send kids to camp right now. Get the phones ringing. So where shall we go now? Where shall we go now? Oh, okay. So here we go. Okay, so we are going to start with the first phone ring. There we go. So I have been to camp, and like I say, it is second to none. This is, and I call it every year the same thing, the great equalizer. This is where Easter Seals kids are just kids for 10 days. It is amazing. All the barriers are gone. You would not believe the change in these kids from the day they get there until the day they go home. So
okay,
Winston,
we're getting some
off.
through. Okay, we've got Carol Mischuk, who donated $50. Okay, we're going to put that in. Thank you very much. Also, we've got Kathy Howes from Sarnia. Shout out to Sarnia, $50 as well. So again, keep those calls coming in. 1-866-996-5799. And PJ's got more.
$150 away from one day. Here we go.
Well, I got you 100 there, so let's
there we
add
go.
that. Catherine Hastings from Cambridge, Ontario. Thank you for watching. Thank you for donating. And you just earned your angel wings, my love. Thank you so much for being here.
So can someone call in right now? Give us $50, and that's one day taken care of. And Makeup Monster, you know what? I think we need the eyes. I think this is time for the eyes.
All right, look into my eyes. Closer, closer. You know you want to call. You know how good you will feel when you donate.
I think it worked. I think we have our first day.
It worked. Look at that. Mark Surley from Mississauga, $100.
We're at day one. We are at day one. Please, folks, I would love to bring all of you to camp. It is such an incredible experience. What are some of the things you do at camp?
Some of the things that I do are swimming, a high ropes course. There's also like pottery and drama and all these things that can just increase my independence and confidence so much.
And the food?
The food is actually incredible.
Yeah.
So good.
And each of the camps have songs. I know the Marywood song. Do you remember the Wood Eden song?
I do, but it's extremely long.
Okay, give me the first couple of lines.
Well, the start is, Wood Eden is our dear old camp, shout to the rafters ring.
And you know what? These are the things, the camaraderie that happens at the camp. So we're at one day. Winston.
Kelly, we have one more here from Harvey Rakra. Oakville, $100. Shout out to Oakville. Thank you for your donation. That is going in there.
All right, we are $100 away from our second day at camp, everyone. Patricia, Patricia, come on. What have you got?
I'm getting to know her, yes.
She's over there chatting. We're sending kids to
Well,
camp.
listen, she just donated $500, so I was just trying to give her something to
What was the name then?
So that's Shireen, and Shireen is here every year. She actually presents with Century 21. She's never sat down as one of our volunteers before. Yeah, on the phone. So she wanted to make an impact, and she just did with $500.
Does that sound like a challenge to other real estate brokers? Perhaps this is something where real estate brokers can actually really get together. So we are at 3 days at camp. We don't want to say no. Sadly, every year our lists get filled up, and we have to say no. And Makeup Monster is the one that actually has to sometimes tell these kids they can't go.
Oh, I know, it's a very difficult thing. You don't want to have to see me cry, do you? It won't be pretty. So call right now. There's the number. You know how to work your finger. You know how to work a phone. We're waiting for you to call. All my friends are here waiting to pick up the phone. So call. I know where you live.
All right, we're 3 days at camp.
Mr. Monster, sir, I have a very big number to add here. We have $50 from Margaret DeSona in Oshawa. And look at this. $500 from Heather Walls in our nation's capital. Thank you so much, Heather. Look at that. As these numbers climb, we're loving to see this because you know what? Camp is just the best place in the world.
And I know, and the people in Ottawa, you know, all you have to do is go just right down the Rideau, and there is Camp Marywood.
Yes.
It is fantastic. So if you don't believe me, drive by the place. It really is incredible. And I know there's a lot of people from Ottawa and Eastern Ontario that go to Camp Marywood specifically.
You know, I'm from Eastern Ontario originally, and I used to be a camp counselor on the Rideau as well. And you know what? What a great place to be a kid.
So let's talk Eganville. Let's talk Beachburg. Where else can we talk about in the Valley?
Ooh, how about Arnprior?
Renfrew. Pembroke. Yeah, there we go.
What do you think?
And Vanier, Orleans, you know, getting into the city.
Russell, Embren, Castleman.
On this 5 days, we want to make that more.
We're at 5 days.
Here from Yusuf Jakarzizian, $20 from Toronto. Thank you very much. Greg Reed with $50 from Aurora, Ontario. We've also have Teresa Reed, $100 from Kitchener. Thank you very much. And I'm just looking behind me. We've got 19 phones available, so you can still call in. Again, the phone numbers are on your screen: 416-205-3300, 1-866-996-5799, toll free. Yes, Kat.
So, Winston, I'm just going to talk here with his name. Victor, are you there?
Yes, I am.
So this is Victor Singh from Mississauga. And Victor, you just donated one full day at camp for a child, $250.
Hey, that's good.
What prompted you to give us a call?
I seen you, and I seen your other buddy there.
My other buddy, Winston. Victor, thank you so much for this. And you know what? Because of you, we won't have to say no to another child. So thank you, Victor.
Hey, my pleasure. My pleasure.
Victor Singh talking to us from Mississauga.
Okay, we've got more from Natalie Johnson, and I'm going to go get some more over here.
A couple more. I have $25 from Ronald Mitchell. Thank you very much. Another 20 from Miss Courtney Carroll in Hamilton. So we're up to 6 days of camp. We want to keep that number climbing because we want to send kids to camp for 10 days at a time. And we know it costs $250 a day. And it is well worth every penny, isn't it, Kelly?
Yes, definitely.
What are your favorite things to do at camp?
Well, my favorite thing about camp is all the friends that I've made. So just getting to hang out with them all the time is amazing. And also swimming and the high ropes course are two of the things that I didn't think I'd be able to do. But when I got to camp, I was. So it's really incredible.
And I'm sure that the friends you make at camp stay your friends for much longer than just the 10 days there.
Yeah, definitely. We all have like a giant group chat that's always buzzing. And we tell each other all the news about our entire lives and wait basically 355 days from the day that we leave camp to see each other again.
Winston has something exciting on the phone over there. Winston, what do you have?
I have a few more here. Let me run over here. Fioravante Romano from Brampton, $100. Let me put that in here. $100 from Ellen Weir from Toronto. Thank you very much. And one other one from Nicholas Deloriers from Rigaud, Quebec. $40. Thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup. 7 days at camp. We are, you know what? Can we get to 10 days?
Yes, we can.
All right, go ahead.
I got some good ones here. So $250 donation. That's coming from Kingston, Ontario, from Dan and Marie Kimmermer. Thank you so much for that. Let's add another $150 to that calculator to calculate that up, my friend. Michael Graham from Kingsville. Thank you for your donation. And you just got some angel wings. Good on ya. And another $25 from Isabel Shields. She's from Hamilton, Ontario. Thank you so much for your donation. And remember, your donations help send kids to camp because we're, let's say it together, we're unstoppable.
Okay, tell you what we're going to do right now. I want to get some of the McMaster cheerleaders out here. Come on over here because we are about to get 10 days of camp. Let's get some of the McMaster cheerleaders from the Ron Joyce Center. Come on up. Come on over here because we're about to cross, hopefully, that 10 days at camp. So don't get excited yet. Don't get excited yet. Okay, what have we got? Anybody?
I have two.
All right, here we go. Let her
I'm
through.
gonna
Let her
come
through. And we're going to cheer when we get to 10 days.
Okay, well, let's add $50 from Rose Turkio, who I may add is taking calls in the back row. Thank you so much, Rose. And then $100
We're $20 away.
from Amanda Rackra in Toronto. $20
We are $20 away. All right.
Yes.
Who we got?
You just did it for us. Another $25 and another $50.
Who put us over?
What's that? What's that?
Who put us over? Who put us over?
She's so excited.
Who put us over?
Okay, who put us over? Paige Curran. She is from Hamilton.
All right, Paige, here we go for Paige. And for everybody, 10 days. But let's not stop. Let's not stop.
That
Keep-
11 days?
Hold on. Winston just said something.
Going Indira Sukdeo from Toronto, $50. We can have that one. Yeah. Hey, another one from another Indira Sharma from Toronto, $50. Thank you. There we go.
Here we go. Keep going. Have we got any more? Hold up your hands. Hold up your hands. I can't see past the cheerleaders.
Does
yes, there's
anybody
somebody
here
over
have
here.
any pom-poms?
Here, I'll pass it through to you.
Any pom-poms in the house
We've
today?
got another one coming. 19 lines still available. Phones are open, so give us a call.
We got one here. We got one
We
here.
have Pam LeGrant, $20. Let's punch that in as these numbers continue to climb. My goodness. We are so, oh my goodness, here you go, Winston.
One more from Vince Contino, $50. This is from Waterdown, Ontario, so thank you so much for that.
Nice work.
Now remember, raising $2,500. $2,500 sends a kid to Easter Seals Camp for 10 days, okay? $250 a day, PJ.
That's right. So you want to send 2 more kids to camp right now?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Add $500 from John Kelly. Yes. You are such angels out there. Let's keep announcing our angels wins, and let's do it together. Christopher Petrie. $121.
I've got one back here.
Go, Kevin, go.
He's on the phone right now. Or sorry, she's on the phone. Jane, is it Renier? Renier from Petrolia, $250. There's a day right there.
We are at 13 days at camp, so keep those calls coming. We want to make that as high as possible, right?
You know what I was thinking? Maybe we start Kids to Camp.
Yes.
Kids to camp.
Kids to Camp. Kids to Camp.
Kids to camp. Mark
want
Hardy
there?
wants to send kids to camp. From Burlington, $50. Thank you. And Nina Rackra, how much money was that?
$50. Thank you, Nina.
From Oakville. And it's time to take a look at our totals.
We have a grand total coming up.
Grand total. Are we ready?
What are we looking at here?
I'm coming.
Kevin's the
Here we
captain of
go.
the total. We
All
can't
right.
do it without Kevin.
Bring down the total. Here we go. And whoop, it is $1,150,000. Yeah. All right, cheerleaders, take us home. Come on. Let's hear it. Thank you. Michelle, over to you.
Amazing. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, everyone. Easter Seals benefits from hundreds of volunteers across the province who help raise much-needed funds at events. And joining me now is Gino DeBuono, Easter Seals board member and chair of the fundraising committee. Gino, tell us about the fact that it's not just this telethon, it's events throughout the year.
Thanks, Michelle. Well, Easter Seals relies completely on the generosity of individual donors. People that are calling in, for example. We have our corporate sponsors that you've seen with the checks that come out, and then countless events throughout the province throughout the year.
And these events would not be possible without the volunteers, without the sponsors. Tell us more about just what it takes.
Correct. We have our high-profile event like the telethon that has volunteers running around, and you've been seeing them. But also, we have community volunteers, sponsors that work together to create events in their own communities to support our Easter Seals families with equipment, services, and camps.
And yeah, maybe you can tell everybody, give them some ideas. Easter Seals is also supported by events held by other groups.
Correct. They have golf tournaments, they have baseball tournaments, hockey tournaments, bake sales. We have car washes. We even have children that throw birthday parties and say, please, no gifts this year, donations to Easter Seals. All this is done just to help out our Easter Seals families. So if anybody has an idea or anybody wants to participate, just visit easterseals.org and volunteer.
Gino, thank you so much. Some great ideas.
Thanks, Michelle.
All right. Brent, over to you.
Thank you, Michelle. All day, we have been showing you how Easter Seals kids cannot be stopped. And we want you now to meet someone who's not a kid anymore, but that hasn't stopped her from being unstoppable. Tracy Schmitt, who is also known as Unstoppable Tracy, is with us. Hi.
Hello. Thank you for inviting me today. What a fabulous day.
Isn't it a great day? And we're having a terrific event, but it's even better now that you're here with us. Now, you've done the drop zone.
Yes.
You've done all kinds of crazy things. Tell us about some of the stuff you've done.
Oh my gosh. You know, because I could swim at Easter Seals Camp, I could grow up and be a sailor. And because I could sail, I could teach sailing. Because I could teach sailing, I could get a teaching degree. And because I got a teaching degree, I got to be a camp director at Easter Seals. And I got to be in 40 countries around the world as a teacher, all because of Easter Seals making a massive difference to me.
And you're also everywhere on social media, so you've got that down as well. But Tracy, tell us about camp. What was it about camp that showed you that you could open all these doors?
You know, at camp, it was a chance where you could thrive, and everybody looked at you like nothing is impossible. And because they believed in you, I believed in me. And then I entered a world of confidence, like I can do it. Even if I'm falling out of a boat or wiping out in ski trees or falling down, you just get back up because I can do it. I just have to figure it out. Even though I don't know how right now, I just got to figure it out. And it was the confidence that Easter Seals gave me that got me to where I am now, Unstoppable Tracy, with 23 million views in 2019, right?
When Unstoppable Tracy sees some of the kids here today, do you see that confidence building? Do you see it here now?
I see it massively, and it's a whole different space now in 2019 than it was in 1970s. When I was a kid. You know, when I was a kid, kids with disabilities had to go to segregated schools. But because of Easter Seals teaching me how to tie my shoelace, I was able to go to a mainstream school.
Yes. And that's so important. And it's changed, and you're helping to make that change happen. And it's so great to have you here with us today at Easter Seals. Unstoppable Tracy Schmitt, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Brett. Thank you, Easter Seals.
Over to Michelle.
Thank you so much. Friends of We Care has been a supporter of Easter Seals for more than 30 years. And joining me now are Stephen Prisco, chair of the We Care Board of Directors, Executive Director Tiana Rodrigue, and I know you recognize her, Grace Kennedy, one of the We Care ambassadors. First, Steve, tell us about Friends of We Care.
Well, Friends of We Care is the food service industry's charity of choice. We're made up of 80 member sponsor companies like Kraft Heinz, Pepsi, Cisco, Aramark, and our passion is sending kids to summer camp.
Tiana, how are the funds raised?
So mainly in one of two ways. One is our member sponsorships, like Steve just mentioned, and through events nationally. So we run 16 events and a lot of third-party events that help us raise money to send kids camp.
Grace, you are a veteran. Tell us, I know you've attended the camps, both of them actually. What was that experience like for you?
It's an amazing experience. It's just so amazing to meet other children and teens who have disabilities, and not only through their disability, but through camp, you get to know them and you get to just see past their disability. And I just love meeting new people there and just making new experiences, and it's amazing. So thank you.
And you're back. Again, we're glad to have you here. What, can I ask you about the teddy?
Yes. So this is our We Care teddy, and on the back, he has a We Care cape, which says Friends of We Care, sending Easter Seals kids to camp. And so that is just one of our great opportunities and things to show people when we go to events and show them what we fundraise for, and it's just amazing.
Now I'm hearing the drum roll, okay? Because you brought a check. Let's see what's on it.
We raised $766,405.